Usulul Hadith, The Methodology of Hadith Evaluation, by Dr. Abu Amina Bilal Phillips. 1. Definitions. The Arabic word hadith basically means an item of news, conversation, a tale, a story, or a report. Whether historical or legendary, true or false, relating to the past or the present. Its secondary meaning as an adjective is new, as opposed to qadim, old. However, like other Arabic words, e.g. salah, zakah, its meaning changed in Islam. From the time of the Prophet ﷺ, his stories and communications dominated all other forms of communication. Consequently, the term hadith began to be used almost exclusively for reports that spoke of his actions and sayings. Usage of the word hadith. The term hadith has been used in both the Quran and the prophetic traditions according to all of its linguistic meanings. The following three categories are the most notable usages. It has been used to mean A. The Quran itself. فَذَرْنِي وَمَنْ يُكَذِّبُ بِهَذَا الْحَدِيثِ. Then leave me alone with those who reject this communication. Surah Al-Qalam 68:44. إِنَّ أَحْسَنَ الْحَدِيثِ كِتَابُ اللَّهِ. Indeed, the best form of communication is the Book of Allah. B. A historical story. وَهَلْ أَتَاكَ حَدِيثُ مُوسَى. Has the story of Moses reached you? Surah Taha 20:9. حَدِّثُوا عَنْ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ وَلَا حَرَجَ. You may speak about the children of Israel without ... C. A general conversation. وَإِذَا أَسَرَّ النَّبِيُّ إِلَى بَعْدِ أَزْوَاجِهِ حَدِيثًا. When the Prophet confided in one of his wives. Surah Tahrim 66:3. من استمع إلى حديث قوم وهم له كارهون أو يفرون منه سب في أذنه الأناك. Molten copper will be poured in the ear of whoever eavesdrops on the conversation of people who dislike him doing so or flee from him. Among the hadith scholars, the term hadith means whatever is transmitted from the Prophet of his actions, sayings, tacit approvals, or physical characteristics. Scholars of Islamic law do not include the physical appearance of the Prophet in their definitions. Importance of hadith. 1. Revelation. The Prophet's sayings and actions were primarily based on revelation from Allah, and, as such, must be considered a fundamental source of guidance second only to the Quran. Allah in the Quran said concerning the Prophet ﷺ, وَمَا يَنْتِقُ عَنِ الْحَوَىٰ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَى وَحْيٌ يُوحَىٰ. Muhammad does not speak from his desires. Indeed, what he says is revelation. Surah An-Najm 53:3-4. Therefore, the hadith represents a personal source of divine guidance which Allah granted his Prophet ﷺ, which was similar in its nature to the Quran itself. The Prophet ﷺ reiterated this point in one of his recorded statements. Indeed, I was given the Quran and something similar to it along with it. 2. Tafsir. The preservation of the Quran was not restricted to protecting its wording from change. Were that the case, its meanings could be manipulated according to human desires, while maintaining its wording. However, Allah also protected its essential meanings from change by entrusting the explanation of the meanings of the Quran to the Prophet ﷺ himself. Allah states the following in the Quran regarding its interpretation. وَأَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْكَ الذِّكْرَ لِتُبَيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ مَا نُزِّلَ إِلَيْهِمْ. And I revealed to you the reminder, Quran, in order that you explain to the people what was revealed to them. Surah An-Nahl 16:44. Therefore, if one is to understand the meanings of the Quran, he or she must consider what the Prophet ﷺ said or did regarding it. E.g., in the Quran, Allah instructs the believers to offer salah, formal prayers, and pay zakah, obligatory charity, in Surah Al-Baqarah 2:43. However, in order to obey these instructions correctly, one must study the methodology of the Prophet ﷺ in this regard. Among his many clarifications concerning salah and zakah, he instructed his followers, saying, "Pray as you saw me pray," and he specified that 2.5% of surplus wealth, unused for a year, should be given as zakah. 3. Laws. One of the primary duties of the Prophet ﷺ was to judge between people in their disputes. Since his judgments were all based on revelation, as stated earlier, they must be considered a primary source of principles by which judgments are carried out in an Islamic state. Allah also addressed this responsibility in the Quran, saying, يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم فإن تنازعتم في شيء فردوه إلى الله ورسوله. O believers, obey Allah, obey the Messenger, and those in authority among you. If you dispute about anything, refer it to Allah and the Messenger. Surah An-Nisa 4:59. Thus, hadiths are essential for the smooth running of the law courts in an Islamic state. 4. Moral ideal. Since the Prophet ﷺ was guided by revelation in his personal life, his character and social interactions became prime examples of moral conduct for Muslims until the last day. Attention was drawn to this fact in the following Quranic verse. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةً حَسَنَةً. Surely there is for all of you a good example of conduct in the way of Allah's Messenger. Surah Al-Ahzab 33:21. Consequently, the daily life of the Prophet ﷺ, as recorded in Hadith, represents an ideal code of good conduct. In fact, when the Prophet's wife, Aisha, was asked about his conduct, she replied, his character was the Quran. 5. Preservation of Islam. The science of narration, collection, and criticism of Hadith was unknown to the world prior to the era of the Prophet ﷺ. In fact, it was due in part to the absence of such a reliable science that the messages of the former prophets became lost or distorted in the generations that followed them. Therefore, it may be said that it is largely due to the science of Hadith that the final message of Islam has been preserved in its original purity for all times. This is alluded to in the Quranic verse, إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرَ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. Indeed, I have revealed the reminder, I will indeed protect it. Surah Al-Hijr 15:9. Hadith and the Sunnah. The term Hadith has become a synonym for the term Sunnah, though there is some difference in their meanings. Sunnah, according to Arabic lexicographers, means a way, course, rule, manner of acting, or conduct of life. Sunnah, as a technical term in the science of Hadith, refers to whatever statements, acts, approvals, physical or character descriptions that are attributable to the Prophet ﷺ along with his biography before or after the beginning of his prophethood. It is thus synonymous with the term Hadith. However, according to Usul al-Fiqh science, legal methodology, Sunnah refers to only the statements, acts, and approvals of the Prophet ﷺ. It also refers to whatever is supported by evidence from the Sharia, the opposite of bid'ah. And in the legalistic science of fiqh, the term Sunnah refers to recommended acts authentically attributable to the Prophet ﷺ, the doers of which is rewarded and the non-doer is not punished. It is also used to refer to the opposite of bid'ah, as in the statement Sunnah divorce and bid'ah divorce. According to its general definition, the Quran is the most important part of the Sunnah conveyed by the Prophet ﷺ. It may also be said that the Hadiths were the containers in which the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ was conveyed during his lifetime and after his death.